no glory for the faint of heart. We all stars, win or lose, we don't play the part. And when the going getting tough, I get to going hard. You bring your best and you know.
Welcome to the Boss of the Beast podcast. Episode 3. Hope you all had a good Christmas. We got some good shit, didn't we? I thought we did. Dogs were chilling in the living room, being very good, enjoying Christmas with us, so that was fun.
And Nia rewarded us with 2 blowouts in her kennel.
Dear God, too many treats. Fucking woke up one morning at like 3 a.m. and I was like, I have a strong stomach, a strong gag reflex, and I was like, I was putting my shirt on, like, I just went in and woke Melissa up. Come take care of this.
He literally woke me up, 7 a.m. I'm dead asleep. He comes and whispers in my ear,
I need help.
Nia shit her kennel. Oh, great. Because we thought, Jessica was coming for your massage.
Yeah, this massage therapist, so we're lighting every fucking candle we can find in the house. And
get it out of the house and smell back to normal in here.
Well, why I got her up is because I don't want to open the kennel and let her out. So we carried the kennel with this 120, she got to be 120 pounds now.
And she's all smeared in it. It was all over the whole bed. Oh my God. And I just gave her a bath the day before.
Yeah, no, it was.
So we had to have bath time again. But now she's clean. Then she did it again last night, so I don't know.
This time there was a towel in there, so she shit on the towel and bunched it up and didn't get anything out of her. But still, I woke up like, what the fuck? Again?
Yeah. So, I just throw it out. Whenever she does this, I throw everything out because I'm not putting that in my washing machine. That's disgusting. So.
And, you know, we're talking about pooping and digestive issues. Man, besides me, I fucking had some pizza, and at 40 years old, the pizza don't mesh no more.
I'm doing fine. My bowels are doing great, in case anybody was wondering.
I can eat all the carbs in the world. As soon as you have a little cheese, oh man, it just destroyed me. I've never had this problem. Yeah, then I got a couple other clients that are like, dude, I'm backed up. I ate a meal 7 hours ago. It still hasn't moved. So I think it's just this time of year where everybody's snacking on little extra, not the same diet food. And after about 4 or 5 days, it done created a butt plug.
My butt's doing great. I don't have any of these problems, so
oh man,
I don't know what they're doing that I'm not doing or vice versa.
Well, see, I think the thing with you is you just consistently snack throughout the year, so your body's used to it.
Yeah, I consistently eat cookies and brownies, so I don't have any problem digesting them.
Oh man. It's not even like I drank milk. It was just the cheese. I was eating like, man, this is so cheesy and it's good. And the next morning it was like...
And it was only 5 slices. I've seen him put down far more than 5 slices.
It was a family-size pizza. 5 slices, so it was about like 20 inch.
I had 3.
You had 3 slices. I had, there's 8 slices. Whatever. I've eaten like 2 families before.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was 7 months ago. I don't think we had pizza since before my prep. Yeah. And I started prepping like June... Yeah, end of May. So that was probably the deal. My body's like, now we only like healthy food. So that sucks. But, well, it's the new year coming up in a couple of days. What is it? A couple of days. By the time this airs, it'll be a day or 2. You know, I'm the type of person that is every day resetting expectations for myself goal-wise and what I want to achieve. But for some, they wait till the end of the year to reset goals. And I think, if you start your business year or something like that, you're starting at the, January 1st and go, so maybe business goals make sense if you're starting that. But if you're just starting out, any time's a good time to start a resolution or a time to reset. You don't have to wait. I mean, if you waited from September to January 1st to set a goal, how far I could fuck up on, in 4 months. I could look like a different person in a bad way, so I'm constantly checking myself. But for all those guys out there, we're trying to reset, let's start fresh. I can go both ways on it. What's your take on it? Goal setting. I mean, you're kind of more like me. Just every day you're just...
Yeah, I don't really set a goal for the year. I have... My life is very structured. period. So I don't have to set a new goal for the new year. Like, I just keep going.
And that kind of...
The ball just keeps rolling. Nothing's different.
I mean, I think that kind of comes from competing too, because it's like you get off a show and it's like you're not going to wait till January 1st to prep again. You're just going to start moving on to your next show, whatever. If it's in July, it doesn't matter, right? So maybe that's part of it for us.
Yeah, I don't know. New Year's has never been like a big ordeal for me. It's not.
I think we, as kids,
I'm not a partier, so it's like, woo. I'm not staying up till midnight to watch a ball fall.
No.
I'm going to bed at 9 p.m.
9, yep.
And I'm sleeping and getting up and doing my normal routine.
As kids, our parents, my mom and dad, okay, everybody sit down, we're going to write down a couple of things. So I got used to doing that, but then we just started doing it multiple times throughout the year. It wasn't just New Year's. And as I got to the teen years, you're just going and cranking. But for those of us that haven't really ever set expectations for ourselves and goals, it's not a bad time to start doing that at the New Year's, and there's, you need to be very specific when you're setting goals. You need to write it down, and you need to have no more than 5. I'd say a person can really only focus on 3 to 5 tasks in any amount of time frame, which brings up another time. Make sure these goals are realistic, something that you can achieve, and set a time block for that. So for, let's make it easy for bodybuilders and competitors. Okay, I'm competing in July. Well, it's January 1st, so okay, I got 2 more months of off season, so we're gonna really push hard. We're gonna start cleaning up the diet, maybe not as many free meals, push the weight really heavy, and then, beginning of March, no more free meals, start the cardio a little bit higher intensity, so that's that's a set expectation in a set amount of time. It's realistic and it's achievable, right? So, and you can do this with anything in your life, it can be relationship, it can be spiritual things, it can be the type of things I come up with maybe at the beginning of the year is like, okay, we have to get the kitchen done this year, or the property needs to look a certain way, because those are things that I've set to the side because I'm so focused on other things. So maybe that's something that I do at the beginning of the year. But being very specific and only 3 to 5 things, write it down, and then review it every day. Put it on your laptop, put it on your phone, put it on the mirror in your, it's 5 things. It's a very small little note. Stick it on your mirror in the bathroom, because you're going to hopefully always get up and brush your teeth at some point in the time of day, morning or night. But read that, on the fridge. She's laughing because I don't brush my teeth first thing in the morning. I drink coffee first.
First thing I do. In the bathroom, brush my teeth.
Yeah. Or on the fridge, you're always, or on the coffee maker if you're a coffee addict, right? So make it easy for yourself, and just to scan over 3 to 5 things once a day. Top of the mind awareness makes it real easy. Just like when you walk by the mirror, walk by the microwave in the kitchen, striking a pose because you can see a reflection, top of the mind awareness.
This guy, every day, every night in the bathroom mirror.
Okay.
Babe,
yes.
Look.
Yes.
Wow.
The vascularity comes out.
Like it looked yesterday.
7 meals in, you're full and tight. I want everybody to comment. Let's see how many people walk by the mirror, walking by their entertainment center when the TV's off, like, oh, fuck yeah, look at that. Get your little bicep pose there. Come on. That's not just me. I know it's not.
Like, I'll look in the mirror just to check my ass, make sure it's not too fat yet. But that's all I do. Like, I just look, make sure there's no cellulite. As long as there's no cellulite, I'm in good shape. I can eat more cookies tonight. Great. That's all I care about.
See, that's not any different than what I'm doing. I'm like, ooh, need more carbs, fill up this bicep? What are we doing here? And then when you're setting these goals, you're being realistic about it. So you need to think about accountability, how you're going to stay on that, and then the cost that might be associated with it. So some goals, and I would personally choose goals that are easy to reach first, because you can always add more. So you say you got 5 goals that you start the beginning of the year off with. You knock 2 or 3 out, because they're the easy ones. You can always add 2 or 3 more. You can always keep 3 to 5 goals going all the time. Once those goals are off the list, they're no longer something that's you need to focus on, so it becomes a habit. Maybe it's something like, I want to go to the gym 4 days a week. Okay, by 3 months in, you've hit 4 days a week for 3 months. That's no longer a goal that needs to be on the priority list because it's became a habit. So knock it off, add something else. But what's the cost for some of these goals you might have? Okay, so I want to be a professional bodybuilder. Have you worked through every layer of that? How much time it's going to take? Is it realistic in 1 year? How much food is it going to cost? How much is your coaching, your posing, your gym memberships, the treadmill or bike or stairmill you buy for your own house, the travel time? How does that affect your family life? You know, let's be pretty serious here and start one step at a time. You could break that goal down into, okay, I'm going to do 5 days a week this. I can go on walks twice a day out of my house and not have to have, you know, so I can get steps in. So there's easier ways to do that. But I think a lot of times we jump into these things and be like, halfway through, it's like, well, I'm out of money. And then all that sudden that goal goes to shit. You don't feel like you accomplished anything, and you're back at square one again. And probably worse off because you're a little bit depressed you didn't reach your goal, right? So make them achievable. And then how do you hold yourself accountable to this shit? Well, you know, you get to a certain point with practice that you just hold yourself accountable. But it really helps, you know, if you have a good community. And if we're talking about strength training and powerlifting and bodybuilding, a good gym. If you're in Tucson, Southern Arizona, Be Strong Powerhouse, we have a great community for females and males. You got any input on that? I need to catch my breath. I just ate. There's a lot of food going on here. I'm sweating now. The Red Bull's not helping. So yeah, I think we've said it a couple times, but 3 to 5 things, achievable, realistic, in a timely manner, and find a community that you can hold yourself accountable in that. It could be a spouse. Hey, put the fucking cookie down, you fat bastard. You know, it could be like that. Like sometimes she's like, no more pizza. You remember that constipation you had for 2 weeks? No more pizza.
I try to remind him of these things, guys. And he's like, wait, let's go get X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I thought your stomach hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't right now.
You didn't feel good.
It feels great right now.
Do you want to feel good tomorrow, or do you want to be in the same position tomorrow? So,
you know, with all this practice of getting to 120 pounds bigger than I should be, I learned how to eat when I want to just keep shoveling it in, even when I don't need to. Some of us can't get away with it, like sweet cheeks over here.
Hey, I couldn't get away with it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know, my body's like in
I've been doing
super drive mode.
I've been doing pretty good lately.
So I eat a lot of bullshit and I'm still pretty fucking lean, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and a
Treats,
place.
I should say. I don't really go out to eat very often, maybe once a week.
Well, maybe that's what we talk about.
Because I just don't really... I like the food that I make at home a lot better most times than I like restaurant food or fast food or whatever.
We talk about that a lot.
But I do like to have my treats at night. So I'm fortunate enough now that my body is in a spot where I can do that, and my weight doesn't change. I don't get fat. Nothing changes. I just do it.
But the backstory to that is 14 years of training.
Yeah.
Consistent cardio, 45 minutes every day. And it's not just bullshit cardio. She couldn't talk type of cardio. Like, she's working, right?
Yeah, if you can carry a conversation while you're doing cardio, you're not doing cardio. You may as well stop wasting your time.
Well, she took me on a walk on Christmas, and there was no conversation. It sounded like...
I could just hear heavy breathing behind me the whole time.
Well, it was Christmas Eve dinner was still setting, and I had a waist trainer on. I was fucking, I was miserable. And it's been like 3 weeks since I did any cardio.
And I did a little jog that day too. That was terrible. That part was... He was like, hey, why don't you just go jog to the end of
she's like, do you want to jog? I'm like, no, but you can.
He said, why don't you jog to the end of that dirt road, and once you get to the end, turn around and come back to me, and then we'll continue walking. So I did, and that did not feel good. Like, 165 pounds jogging feels a lot different than back when I was like 120 pounds jogging. Like my hips, my knees, not so bad. Just my hips, my ankles, Rafe says I was running like this.
Well, yeah,
trying to, like,
joggers run, it's all just like, the arms are loose, right? When we run, it's like, ooh, ooh.
I'm just trying to brace my shoulders
Like,
because everything else is hurting.
You're lifting the whole body up with the shrug just to move.
So if I ever decide to start running again, I need to lose about 40 pounds because that did not feel awesome. Walking is fine. Running, no.
But the food, getting away with the food. I mean, you're not just getting away with it because the overall calorie output in a day, you're able to manage with how many times you eat.
Yeah.
And, going back to like going out all the time compared to eating in. So, number one, saves a ton of money. Number two, we can 100% of the time make better food here. The only time that I want to go out to eat, I was telling you this, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to cook anymore. Our food always tastes better. Like, I'm so disappointed. And now, what is a McDonald's double cheeseburger is $10? Like, the thing tastes like shit. You know what you can make for $10 here? That tastes just outstanding, right? Or if you have a steak or...
You don't have to worry about a stomach ache either.
Yeah, and then you make French toast. You make it with the organic sourdough bread, and it tastes just as good, way better, and your gut doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So
I always laugh because these girls at work, I was like, oh my god, my stomach, I have so much gas, like, I'm so bloated, and this and that. But meanwhile, they're over here every morning having freaking foo-foo coffee drinks from Starbucks that probably have more calories than I consume in the entire day. And then for lunch, they order takeout, or there's catered food from the doctors at work, whatever. Everybody's just going ham on that, but wonder why they have so many digestive issues.
yeah, Starbucks drink and a donut.
Just pure sugar.
That's like 120 grams of sugar.
It's breakfast. That's breakfast.
Yeah, that's not coffee.
That's not breakfast.
Coffee is black coffee with nothing in it. That's coffee. If you have to put any sweeteners in it, that's not coffee.
And then one of the girls, I said, you could probably just eat chicken breast and rice and you'd be, that would resolve a lot of your problems. She was like, I'd rather die.
Shit, that's one of our favorite meals. And if you talk to bodybuilders in general, they're like, we always say chicken and rice, but man,
you don't have to eat it plain or dry or whatever. You can put sauce on it. There's 0-calorie sauces. There's low-calorie sauces. New sauce. I'm plugging New Sauce, even though I'm not sponsored or affiliated. But the New Sauce.
NU sauce. It's the...
NU sauce.
The honey mustard.
Yeah, honey mustard on chicken.
I'm not a sauce guy at all. I will eat that sauce on my chicken.
I haven't tried the fajita one yet, but I did buy that one. The peanut one is good if you like Thai style food.
Oh, I like their the
sriracha ketchup.
Sriracha ketchup. Yeah. It was good. What I have it on, like potatoes, like so potatoes at the end of the day, or sweet potatoes, or maybe a little ground beef. It's 0 calories, but it has just a little kick. I think
there's like 5 calories. It's very minimal. But yeah, you can season and put sauce and whatever on your food. You don't have to use
But it's easy on the gut. It's easy to eat, and it's.
And salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Just friggin' put salt and pepper on it.
That's how I eat it.
Yeah, that alone is, for me, is enough. But I do like the sauces too.
Well, now that we're talking about food, what's your favorite free meal? Off-plan meal.
Oh gosh.
Currently, I suppose. Because in the past, it was like a Chipotle.
Yeah, it used to be Chipotle, but they've been really letting me down lately. It's always different kids working in there when you go, so sometimes you get the hookup, sometimes they freaking give you 2 ounces of chicken instead of 4 or 5. What is my favorite cheat meal currently?
I'm trying to think of mine. I think mine right now is an organic sourdough, so it's 3 to 4 ingredients.
I thought we were talking about out to eat food.
No, just free meal.
Okay.
Free meal. So mine is the organic sourdough. I'll take organic ice cream as the base instead of milk. And then I get the 2 happy eggs, cinnamon and vanilla extract, whip that up, Kerrygold butter in the pan. And then we either do filet or sirloin, 7 ounces of filet, then 2 more happy eggs on top. That is my jam right now.
Yeah, if we're talking about an at-home cheat meal, that's mine as well.
That's a cheap way to...
No, I'm gonna get into my next out to eat.
Out to
free
eat.
meal.
And been so disappointed lately, though.
This doesn't happen very often because their service is fucking terrible. It takes forever to get your order. But Wingstop, fried chicken sandwich, or whatever they call it. Right? Is it called a fried chicken sandwich? Yeah. The chicken sandwich from Wingstop with
But they got
hot honey.
10 different flavors you can put with it. You like the hot honey?
The hot honey flavor is so good, but every time you go to Wingstop, the order's never ready. It takes like over an hour, and yeah, so that's the only thing that deters me from going there is that it takes so long. Even if you order on the app and you go pick it up, it's still not ready. Rafe always has to go in and sit in there and wait for like 30 minutes. So I don't do it very often because it's more of a hassle.
It is good, but man, the last couple times I've had anything fried, gut rot.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
Just not.
It tastes great going down. It does not sit well.
It does taste good, for sure. When I get to that point, and I fucking hate talking like I'm fucking old, but get to that point now where now I'm like, oh, it smells really good, but I'm not going to eat it because I don't want to feel like shit for 4 days, you know? Well, what's your favorite on-plan meal? I mean, we kind of just talked about it, maybe. I think mine... you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. I know what mine is. I eat it every day.
I think I got 3 of them. That's my whole diet. I like all of my meals, really. The only part of prep that I don't like is the lowering of the carbs. But I like the food that I eat. I love fruit, so in prep and they pull the fruit, that's the part I don't like. But I love fruit, so. But I think overall, it would be chicken, cut up, seared in the pan real quick, fresh jasmine rice, and the organic frozen green beans from Costco, and then a little bit of that new sauce, the honey mustard and salt and pepper. That's my jam. That's probably my number one right now.
Mine, I do like seared chicken with fresh seared chicken.
Yeah, it's gonna be fresh.
With the honey mustard sauce and rice and half an avocado. That's probably second.
See, avocados are so good.
I don't have any right now.
I don't get to eat those. But.
That's second as far as my favorites of my daily menu. First is my breakfast. Sometimes on my work days it's my dinner because I don't have time to make it before I go to work, but on my days off it's my breakfast. So it's 280 grams of jasmine rice, 3.5 ounces of filet mignon, and 2 whole happy eggs. Bougie happy eggs, so like $8 a dozen or something ridiculous.
Filet mignon's bougie
yeah,
too.
I don't like tough steak, so I'm sorry, but I will spend a ridiculous amount of money on steak. Like we went to Costco today.
I don't even want, it was, yeah.
19 items, you guys. 19 items. $683. But there was a lot of steak and chicken, so I guess that was a majority of it.
I'll probably end up doing some more balling on a budget shopping because I was balling on my budget my whole life until about 5 years ago. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm at this point. I'm going to spend a little bit more on the foods that we like to eat.
That's how I am. Like, I'll spend the extra money on the filet. You know what? I freaking work my butt off.
But we didn't do that at 20 years old. We didn't do that at 25 or even 30. We couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford it then.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
And I'm not just doing it because I can afford it. Like, I want to enjoy what I'm eating, so I would rather spend my money on good food than on...
Well, think about a dude that's got a sweet car. You know, a 22-year-old kid's got buys a Mustang or Camaro and just throws all of his money and parts into it. I mean, it takes some time to do that. I never had the car. I always had the body. I just kept putting it into me instead. So there's a give and a take, you know. I've talked about this with a lot of clients. I mean, bodybuilding or fun toys, right? I mean, bodybuilding is expensive.
Yeah. There's nothing cheap about bodybuilding. Competitive bodybuilding. Just being a bodybuilder because you go to the gym and lift weights, that's a completely different story. I'm talking about competitive bodybuilding. It's very expensive, so I advise don't even get into it on the competitive side unless you are very stable in your income.
Yeah. And get a good freaking coach.
Yeah.
You know, there's an article coming out that will be dropping on our website this week about how do you find a good coach, too. Because, I mean, I'm not going to go into it. You can read the article. It'll be bestrongpowerhouse.com. It'll be on the articles page. But I just wrote it yesterday, and hopefully it helps you guys find a good coach. Because it took me years to find the right coach for me. I am a very good coach now, but I had to go through so many bad coaches or not top of the line coaches to understand how I would want to be treated, so I can treat my clients the same way at that highest level. But yeah, check that out when it comes out. And, get your priorities straight. If you're gonna do this, understand you're not driving the car with payments at 20 years old. You're buying a car with cash, and you're saving your money for everything else. I see all these young dudes and chicks wanting to do this sport, but then they go out and get a fucking $700, $800, $900 car payment. I'm like, how in the fuck are you gonna get a hotel?
You're gonna be living paycheck to paycheck, not being able to even buy your groceries because your car costs all of your money. But you know what? I get it.
Do what you want to do. Yeah. I don't care, but you really aren't able to go 100 in 5 areas of life at 20 years old. Go ham on job and pick one thing that you want to spend your money on. I mean, that would be my suggestion, because it's very hard to do more than 2 to 3 things at that age, and very hard to do more than 3 to 5 things when you get really efficient. I mean, when it comes to actually like making money and income, you can only do 1 to 2 things.
Yeah.
I run a gym business and I bodybuild. And in that gym business and bodybuilding, I also coach. So now we're almost, and I have 2 gyms. They're not just one. So now we're like 5 things already. Even though there's a lot of crossover between them all, it's still a lot, right? So keep that in mind when you're trying to start cranking in life. Let's do a few questions. Oh man, this I'm a target for the old guys here. Being older in bodybuilding and lifting, how do you handle joint pain and aches? Go for it. I know.
I have all the aches and pains every single day. I'm not even old yet.
Yeah.
I haven't even hit 40. I still have 4 more years until I'm old.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
So I'm old.
But I still wake up every day like, I'm like, if this is what 36 feels like, what is 46 going to feel like?
I think it goes back to what Chris Fine and my buddy, I reposted this past week. And he said something, man, I can't remember what to fuck it up. He said something to the effect of discomfort and pain. They're not the same thing. So every morning we wake up and we're like, ooh, tight, ow, achy, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, okay, now hour, now you get on your cardio and you're moving around, now you feel better. That's not pain. Those are discomforts.
Okay, I have a lot of discomfort.
Yes. When you tear a tendon, when you tear a bicep, when you tweak an SI joint, when you tweak your meniscus, when you tweak your shoulder, pull a lat, a teres, I've done a lot of them. You can still, if you're hardcore enough, go back to, is it discomfort or pain? How am I going to work through? So how I would work through it is, okay, I'm going to do the movements that I'm able to do with that body part with the least amount of pain, but knowing that having movement creates blood flow, bringing nutrients in and out and flushing that muscle. So many people, and not as much as in the old days, stop. They just, I'm hurt, and they stop. The worst thing you can do is stop. So, even when I've tweaked my knees or I've blown my hip, or tweaked, I'm still walking. I'm still doing cardio. You're still getting the blood flow through there. I don't know how, would it take me 7 months to get my right leg to work, and it's still discomfort today. I still had discomfort when I did legs. But I'm able to just focus every week, making small improvements, really mind to muscle connection on that side of the body that is injured, so you don't get this massive imbalance between left and right. Everybody has a stronger side and a weak side, but so how would I go about doing it is stay moving, don't ignore it, so get the body work, stretch at the right times, warm up extra. As you get older, I always tell people, 16, 18, 20, grab the 60s for dumbbells, you go right to the 120s.
Yeah.
I'm 40 now, and I'm way stronger than lifting 120s. And I'm like 50s, 60s, 80. I mean, I'm 7 sets before I even get to my heavy sets.
So I see kids at the gym just walk in, throw a couple plates on the bar, start squatting. I'm like, yeah, you're 20 now. Give it another 10 years, kid.
Well, this might.
I did that once upon a time too, and now I can barely even freaking squat the bar before I get warmed up. Oh, it takes forever.
I think that is also more muscle. The tendons and everything are tighter because they're used to lifting more, so we have to get them more fluid before we can really get into the movements. But for the younger generation, you know, I always thought this, and this is the wrong way to think. Wrist wraps, knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, knee wraps, and straps. I was like, that's for pussies. Don't use that shit until you need it. The thing is, though, I know bodybuilders that have used it from day one, use the wrist wraps, use the elbow sleeves, and they have zero fucking joint pain in their elbows, shoulders, and wrists because they used it the whole time. So, time and a place for everything. Oh, I'm badass. I can bench 450 without anything on. Fuck, it hurts now, so utilize the tools properly so when you get older you don't have as much. Warm up.
My wrists are jacked up, my elbows are jacked up, so now
you just gotta work through it.
I always wear elbow sleeves on any upper body day. Even when I squat, I wear elbow sleeves just because it hurts like hell to get under the bar for the first few sets. And then even when I'm doing my max effort squats that are super heavy, I still, I don't feel like I am, but I'm death gripping the bar, and I'm sure the bar is moving on my back as I'm going into my squat, so I'm trying to actually hold 400 plus pounds in my hands, my wrists, my elbows, all of it. So I'm paying for that, and now my wrists, my elbows hurt.
So at 20,
sorry, they're discomforted.
Yeah.
So I always wrap them, my wrists, and I always wear my elbow sleeves every time I train upper body now, and when I squat. I have to stay in one piece.
Well, I think, when you're 20 years old, your max effort isn't 400. Well, for most women. Yeah. It's more 200, 300, right? But now you're at 400 and 500. Same body, a lot more wear and tear, and it's 3 times your body weight. I mean, it's a lot of fucking weight. And when you put it into a ratio like that, there's a lot more force on those joints, right? So it's not just age, but it's strength and just years of consistency being strong, right? And it's also, you can develop a higher pain tolerance. I would think bodybuilders in general that are professional or do this at a high level have a higher pain tolerance than most.
You have to.
Because you don't just learn how to squat 500 pounds as a 145, 60, 150 pound female, right? That takes a lot of practice, a lot of grit, a lot of pain, a lot of tweaks, a lot of discomfort, a lot of body work.
14 years of practicing until I actually got under that much weight.
Right.
So when I first started, 185 on the bar was like, oh my God, I'm going to crumble.
So maybe just to top off that question, if the body is really injured, there's some really good peptides out there that, Brett Wilkin makes a balm called Butcher's Balm. It's a BPC 157 TB 500. You can rub on a surface of your joint or elbows. It kind of penetrates at the surface, at the localized area. It works really well. Or you can go as far as using the injectable peptide version where you can shoot into your elbow joints or whatever joint's hurting. I've used that a lot with athletes in protocol. You've used it. It works. I've used it. It works very well. It's a really good peptide. You can find it on Amino Asylum. You use Miss Beast.
Code Miss Beast.
To get a discount there. Great stuff. And then also, I've got another old boy question. If you're over 50 and even 60, can you take a year or two off to improve? Or because of the age, do you have to compete every year until you turn pro? I don't think anything determines age-wise if you need to compete right now. I think the only reason why a guy would say, hey, I'm not going to take a 2 to 3 year hiatus is that at 60, what do you look like 3 more years from now? Yeah. How is the body handling the wear and tear maybe the extracurriculars you're taking for the sport. That would be the only reason why I wouldn't take the big break. But if a guy needs a year or two to put the size on, to get lean enough, to make the improvements, then absolutely take the year or two. Is that what you feel?
Yeah. Like, as you're getting older, of course, you don't have all the time in the world like the younger folks. Like, I don't even know how much longer I have, honestly. Right. I'd like to think I have another 5 to 10 years, but every day I wake up, I'm like, whew, I don't know. I don't know about this.
Dive back into that. How much pain, discomfort do you want to tolerate?
Yeah.
The human body is fucking amazing. It can tolerate so much more than every one of you guys watching has even thought. I almost guarantee it. Like, no one, there's very few, I would say very, very few people that ever take it anywhere close to being hard and difficult. They might be like, oh, I feel a little pump, oh, it's a little bit. Like, I've been doing this for 28 years, training, and I'm still finding new levels of discomfort and growth and pain tolerance. So there's always another level. There's always another level. You agree with that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Hope that helps. I do see a lot of people, though, and I was one of these guys, wanting to jump into the next show super fast to see it. You got to get enough time to improve.
Yeah.
If you're coming off of a show, you need an 8-week rebound minimum, and then you need to, so you can't count that as growth, then you need to get back to your off-season weight, hopefully leaner than it was the time before if you're trying to add size or improvements, and you need to hold a new weight for 3 to 6 months at that new weight. Because if you just bounce up, say if you were 220 and all of a sudden you bounce up to 240 for 1 month and you're like, sweet, I'm gonna be 220. No, you gotta hold 240 and you gotta marinate there for a long, at least 4 months, 3 to 4 to 6 months. The longer you can hold that weight, the less your body's gonna shed, because the body, the muscle cells, they need to realize that that's not just a fluke thing, that's there to stay, And every time you've dieted down and I've dieted down between shows, our base is bigger. Mm-hmm. The weight might not be so much different. And most of the times it is, it's higher. But the look, the size of shirts. When I met you, you were wearing extra smalls. That's a fucking extra large.
This is a small, but it's men's. And it's a men's oversized.
Which is about but your regular shirts.
My regular women's shirts, or whatever you want to call it.
Are extra large.
Are large or extra large.
Yeah. That's what, 4 sizes? 5 sizes?
My sports bras, extra large, and they still are not fitting fantastic. I'm just not shaped like a typical woman. I don't have gigantic boobs. I have gigantic lats.
And pecs, but...
Yeah, and pecs. So I really don't even, honestly, I don't even have to wear a bra. My boobs don't move. They're like bolt-ons without surgery, okay? I built them myself. They are fucking solid. But of course I wear a bra just because I don't know why. I just do.
Let's do one more.
But they don't fit. That's what I was getting at. The lats hang over. It doesn't matter if it's large, extra large. I can't wear a real bra.
But I always joke, you need a 2X lat and like a medium cup.
You need like a trainer size here in the front and like a 5X around so that it fits comfortably.
It's a good problem to have.
That's why I can't even buy. I think the last time I bought a regular bra at Victoria's Secret was
6 years ago or 8 years ago.
Probably before I even met you.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, she was measuring me, and she was like, well, I'm like, I know.
Then they put it on, and you could put a whole you put this pillow in the front. Yeah, you could
shove it. This is completely empty, but it fits around, so I gave up on that. I just wear a sports bra or no bra.
Advice for up-and-coming coaches. What do we have for advice? Practice a lot. Practice on yourself. Practice on a couple of your buddies.
The same plan doesn't work for everybody. No. So this cookie cutter stuff does not work.
Okay, we're talking about coaches. Are we talking about the actual strength training part of it, the nutrition part of it, the extracurricular drug part of it, the mental side of the game? There's a lot of that goes into it, and
all of it is different for every person.
I've become a better coach as I've coached more, but I'm also one that sits here every day and reflects on how can I make tomorrow better too. So as I'm looking at an athlete, it's like, what's going on? I'm seeing a pattern that's like, this has nothing to do with training, food, or sleep and hydration. This is a personal problem or a mental problem, and especially when they're young kids, man. These guys are coming out, I was a little bit different at a 20-year-old. I mean, I was already married. I had kids at 21, 3 kids by 24. So I had my own business at 18. I was a different kid, but the kids now at 20 years old, it's like some of these parents might not even have been in their lives, or if they were just as lacking the same amount of skills that they needed at that age, or maybe they were just as young themselves, right? So, the mental health side of things, especially nowadays, I think that's overused. That term is way overused. You can control so much of that with just a good diet, hardcore training, and good sleep and good hydration. You probably can eliminate 80% of mental health issues.
Everybody's anxiety and depression. Get out of here. Go to the freaking gym. Get up. Get outside. Move.
Yeah.
Quit freaking.
I agree with that 100%, but I don't think it's the kid's fault. I think it's society and the drug companies and big pharma and they push these drugs. They just push it.
You don't need
come in here, we'll just give you the. I mean, that.
Yeah, all this nonsense.
Well, I don't even know the antidepressant medication. Now, there are people that freaking need it, but the people that need it are a very small percentage. Yeah. And I've helped a lot of individuals that had been on a lot of things. Just when they got their routine down, they don't need as much anymore. Yeah. And their doctors start pulling it back. So you can help a lot on the mental health side of things. Strength training, man, you have to just live and breathe this stuff, study it, do it yourself, practice. You gotta, trial and error. You'll find how you've injured yourself. You'll figure it out, what not to do a lot of the times. Hopefully this is done on your own self and not, hopefully you don't have to get injured in the first place, having a good coach yourself and just kind of utilizing their techniques, building off of that study. And the nutrition side of things, it's not cookie, like you said earlier, it's not a cookie cutter. There's not one plan for everybody. And in fact, there's not one, between shows, you've done different diets and different protocols into almost every show, depending on how your body responded at the time. So go slow, practice. The best way to do it is really study, really work hard, take a guy or two on for free that really wants to do it, help them, guide them through their show, ask the right questions. Maybe your coach is one that would, hey, have a chat. And a lot of guys are pretty good with that. They'll help their athletes out as they're coaching new athletes. So that's where I would start. That's where I have started. You can utilize us as a resource. Reach out. I'm always available. But I hope these things do help you moving forward this year. Set your goals and expectations. Be realistic about them. Get yourself around a good community of people. Let's finish off the year strong. Melissa's fading on us here. She's falling asleep.
Listen, it's almost past bedtime. I have to get up at 3 a.m. to get to work tomorrow morning, so.
It's 6. This has been a long one, though. But thank you all for tuning in again. We enjoy doing this. Please comment and ask more questions, as well as any other topics you want us to discuss. I felt like the New Year's resolutions was a good one for today. But moving forward, we want to know what you want to hear. Like and subscribe if you can. Share this on your pages. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Boss and the Beast out.